In 2004, an adventure survival film named Flight of the Phoenix was released. Flight of the Phoenix tells the story of a group of individuals flying on a plane over the Mongolian desert. Now, the plane crashes during a sandstorm, and the group, unable to hike out of the burning desert, builds a makeshift plane and flies out. In general, I thought this was a pretty good movie overall, and one that younger audiences could certainly check out. Now, in this review, we'll look at some different aspects and grade how each did. Let's start first with the cast. I would give the cast in this movie a B. Randy Quaid is the lead actor and does a pretty good job, but he does seem to struggle a little bit at times. The supporting characters are good for the most part, but no one really stands out, I thought, as incredible. There's a lot of familiar faces, like Tyrese Gibson from The Fast and the Furious, although he definitely looks a little bit different in this movie, probably because he's younger, but he definitely looks different for some reason. Another character is the engineer, the quirky engineer, Giovanni Ribisi, who was also in the movie Boiler Room. He plays this engineer who's weird and strange, but he devises the plan to get them out of there. And he's unlikable, but his plan is really their only hope, so they kind of have to listen to him. He becomes the boss. Now, I really like the scenario and story of this film. I would give it an A. I like the way that it played out. It was something that never gets done. It's definitely a unique scenario and one that we surely don't see a lot. Survival movies are really underdone in Hollywood, and while we get some good ones from time to time, like Society of Snow or the earlier film Alive, the fact remains most are in the ocean or possibly the jungle. The desert seems like it rarely gets done. Maybe Hidalgo, that movie is, the horse racing movie. That's the only thing I can think of. The movie where they have the horse race across the desert. In addition to this, the fact the group had to build or rebuild a plane was definitely cool. We've seen survival movies where people have to build a raft or a boat, but come on, you can't compete with building a plane to a boat. Also, the extra challenges they faced were crazy, like the heat and constant worrying about running out of water. Now, let's talk about the weaknesses of this film. There were surely a few of them. The first was around the Mongols coming to attack them. This I thought was just unnecessary and not needed. It felt like it was just there for some extra screen time. I would have preferred to see something else. Although trapped in the desert, I do admit it's tough to come up with additional sub-storylines, to fill the screen time. Another weakness in this movie, and probably one of the dumbest things, was the dumb dancing scene where they're all dancing to Outkast, the song Hey Now. This didn't fit the mood of the movie, as these guys are having fun like they're drinking beers and tailgating in the middle of the desert. I seriously doubt anyone is going to be jovial doing the robot. Not to mention, the humor in this movie tends to be used pretty sparingly, and often they make light of and they don't often make light of the messed up situation they're in. Now, for the most part, the mood is concerned, it's serious, it's dramatic like it should be. It's not really, a fun thing when your plane breaks down in the middle of the desert. In sum, Flight of the Phoenix, it's a pretty good movie, and it's one that deserves a watch or possibly a rewatch if you haven't seen it. It's been over 20 years at this point, and definitely one, maybe if you watched it when it first came out, you may have forgotten about it.